This is the Demia Avery Show, hosted by Demia Avery, where some of your favorite entertainers, celebs, and entrepreneurs come to highlight all of their many talents.
Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Demia Avery, and welcome to yet another episode of the Demia Avery Show. Now, I want to thank everyone that joined in last week on my first episode. It was absolutely amazing, where we had some awesome guests. We had air personality artist Southern Soul Vixen Toy Toy. We had TV producer Ebony Atkins. And of course, we had TV legend entrepreneur Emmanuel Lewis. So if you haven't had the opportunity to check it out, make sure you go back and do that because we had a blast. And this week is no exception. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel and keep the vibe going. So for those who may have missed what the show is all about, the Demia Avery Show is where some of your favorite entertainers, celebrities, entrepreneurs, this is where they come to highlight all of their many talents, their passions, their goals, and business ventures that you may never have known about until you tuned in right here. So make sure you stick around because coming up later in the show, I recently caught up with my featured guest of the night that you truly don't want to miss. Her career is so inspiring. So coming up, we have former celebrity publicist turned shoe designer, Anje Pearson. Now, she has worked with everyone under the sun, including Usher and Pink and Outcast. So make sure you stay locked in to check it out. Now, as I mentioned last week, I absolutely love old school everything. So in addition to interviews, this is also an old school entertainment show. I designed it that way because when you think back in the day, it reminds you of a time when life was so simple and fun. So I wanted to incorporate that into the show. So with that being said, make sure you stay right here because coming up next, we have Battle of Schoolhouse Rock cartoons. Y'all remember that? So stick around to cast your vote for your faves. Be right back. All right, guys, make sure you vote for your favorite Schoolhouse Rock cartoon. Put it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share.
Junction, what's your function?
Hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
Junction, how's that function?
I got 3 favorite cars that get most of my job done.
Junction, what's their function?
I got and, but, and, or. They'll get you pretty far. And that's an additive.
The doctor knew just what to do. He cured the infection with one small injection, while Reginald uttered some interjections.
Hey, that's smart! Ouch, that hurts! Yeah, that's not fair, giving a guy a shot down there!
Interjections.
Hey!
Excitement.
Yeah!
Emotion.
Ouch!
They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey. journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't.
I get my thing in action. To be, to see, to feel, to live.
That's what's happening.
I put my heart in action. To run, to go, to get, to give.
You're what's happening.
That's where I find satisfaction, yeah.
Yeah.
To search, to find, to have, to hold.
To be bold.
When I use my imagination, I think, I plot, I plan, I dream, turning in towards creation. I make, I write, I dance, I sing. When I'm feeling really active, I run, I ride, I swim, I fly. Other times when life is easy, I rest, I sleep, I sit, I lie.
That's what's happening.
All right, y'all. Coming up next, my interview with the fabulous Anje Pearson. Stay right there. Hello, everyone. This is Demia Avery with the Demia Avery Show, and thank you so much for joining me on yet another great episode. I have an awesome guest for you guys today. Her resume is beautifully extensive, if that is such a phrase, but it's equal to how beautiful she is. So I'm going to break it down the best way that I can. So here we go. My guest today is a former celebrity publicist that has been in the game for over 35 years. She's worked with some of the most influential celebrities of our time, including such names as Usher, Pink, Outcast, Linkin Park, and so many more. Her organization, Women in PR, is a beacon of knowledge and mentorship to many up-and-coming and established publicists. She's an author, coach, consultant, strategist, entrepreneur, and recently has been on everyone's red carpet with her fabulous luxury shoe collection line, Rogers Pearson. Please welcome the equally as fabulous Anje Pearson. Welcome.
That was a lot.
Well, you've done a lot. You've done a lot.
That was a lot.
And I was afraid that I missed some stuff. I know some other stuff in there, but hey, I can only condense it down just a little.
I know.
So first, before we get into talking about the shoe collection, you got to tell me how the transition has been for you going from a publicist to a shoe designer. That's got to be crazy. Talk to me about that.
It's okay. So, I was always saying I was retiring as of 2019. I said it for a long time, but nobody ever believed me.
Right.
Until I fell and broke my ankle. And then I had a lot of time in 2019 to sit up and think about, okay, what do I really want to do? And so at that time, my boyfriend, now husband, I had talked to him and I was like, I want to do a shoe line.
Mhm.
Well, the pandemic hit.
Okay.
So the supply chain changed.
Right.
And so I pivoted into fast fashion, which was my first brand, which was called Cocoa Blue Shoes.
Okay.
And the thing about fast fashion is that you have to compete with the Fashion Novas of the world.
Mhm.
And we know they drop their prices every day.
Right.
And we all have the same vendors. So a shoe I would have for $90, they would have for $18. Okay.
Oh, well, shoot. Okay. Okay.
So, because, they can afford to do that. Okay.
Right.
So, after 2 years of doing that, I got a call one day with a young lady that said, hey, I saw those boots you have in your line and Fashion Nova has them for $19.99. I'm like, okay, well, go buy them at Fashion Nova. You know me, I'm sarcastic.
Right.
And she was like, oh, but they don't have my size. I'm like, okay. She said, but you have my size. I said, okay. I said, but they're not $19.99, they're $90.
Right.
And then she's like, well, Fashion Nova have them for $19.99. That's okay. This is not Best Buy. This is not Walmart. Price match. Okay. If you want the shoes, they're $90. And at that moment, I realized like this is not for me. Because it's not for me. So I went back to my husband. I was like, hey, let's do what we originally planned on doing in the beginning, since the pandemic is over with pretty much, and the supply chains opened back up. And so I took some time off and learned how to design shoes, from learning what a lace is, how to source fabrics, what factories to go to. It was a lot. It was a lot. People I think they think that it's just a sketch, and sometimes it's not a sketch. Okay. Sometimes it's just a factor of, is it going to work? Is it going to work?
Okay, because that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Like, you just put a sketch together and be like, okay, that's my shoe. And put it out. Okay.
It's totally different from clothes. Like you can do a tech pack for clothes, which is what, your layout and your designs are. But for shoes, it's a little different because you have what is called a last. So the last is a mold, basically. And you have to find one that's going to have a square toe, a round toe, an almond toe, then you got to figure out, okay, is the upper shaft going to work? It might not work. It's just a lot into it. So therefore a sketch doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come to life. Okay. So for me, because I used to love my heels, and I can't wear stilettos anymore since I broke my ankle. So I had to figure out how to be creative to still be fashionable. And that's the reason why a lot of our shoes have like triangle heels, invisible heels.
Okay, yeah, because I want to ask you about that. Okay, go ahead.
That's the reason why they're like that. Okay. So the other part I put into it was that comfort. We spend $600 or $700 for some Louboutins and they hurt your feet. Okay. They just do. So I stumbled upon a factory in Thailand that used to do the Cole Haan inserts made by Nike. Okay. And so all of our shoes have that insert. Okay. So your feet don't hurt. You can walk a country mile and your feet don't hurt. Okay. The other part I paid attention to was sizing. So one thing I did learn about in Cocoa Blue shoes was that the most typical size is an 8 through a 13 for women. Okay. I wear 6.5. Okay. Them 6.5s and 7s would stay around forever. Okay. But my 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 are gone, immediately. So that was one thing that I made sure that I did. The second thing was that all calf sizes are not the same. Okay. So you can be the skinniest person in the world and have big calves. Right. So all of our boots, with the exception of one, because it has a stretch to it, have 2 calf sizes. So, you have a regular calf size, which is a 13-inch circumference, and a larger calf size goes from anywhere from 21 to 23. The other part is my husband designs the men's shoes, and he wears a size 14. So having a size 14 shoe is hard for him to find. So we go up to a 17 in men's shoes. And that's also because, I used to deal with athletes when I was doing PR. So I know that they have big feet. Right. So we go up to a size 17 in the men's shoes.
Okay. So y'all had to go to shoe school. Y'all had to learn some stuff.
We had to learn and then still learning. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. So how does it feel? Because I see now that a lot of people are wearing your stuff on the red carpet. So how does it feel to see your shoes, like somebody wearing your shoes?
To be honest, I don't really care, to be honest. And I think it's because, I was a publicist for so long. And this is what people don't understand. It doesn't, unless you are Kim Kardashian or Beyonce or Taylor Swift, it doesn't matter who wears your stuff. Okay. Because it doesn't turn into an ROI. Yes, it was great to have Tyler on our shoes for the Grammys. That was wonderful. Okay. But it didn't resonate into anything, if that makes sense. Got it. So it's mostly for brand awareness. And when you're first starting out, yes, it's a cool thing. But for me, like I said, for me being in PR, I could care less. Wow. I could care less.
But you know what? I heard you talking about the style of the shoe, and you have the triangle heels and things like that. Now, knowing you, Angie, all I've known from you is these tall heels and things like that. So was it like, when you were designing these shoes, was it a trip trying to like, okay, I really want these tall heels, trying to get them down to these little short heels?
Well, they're still 4.5 inches. They're just designed a different way. Okay. Instead of, I used to wear stilettos. So instead of wearing that skinny ankle, my platforms go up to 5 inches. But the ones that have the weird shapes, they're still 4.5 inches. They just have support.
Now, can you wear these shoes now, Angie? With
Yes, I can wear those. I can't wear stilettos at all.
Okay.
My ankle just be really rocking and I'll be on the ground and trying to figure out how to get there. However, I've had a lot of women say, you make your heels too tall, you make your heels too tall. So our new collection coming out spring and summer is going to have shorter heels for women.
Okay.
And I get it, that everybody doesn't want to wear a high heel shoe, but when you're first starting out, you're trying to figure out who your audience is.
Right. But you know what I love about your collection, and I went onto the website, and I want to talk about your husband's collection as well. But when I went onto the website, I love that you have like an array of different styles. You have the boots, you have the sandals, you just have all different types of shoes that every woman would be interested in wearing. And I love the accessories.
Wait till you see the fall handbags come out. Okay. Wait till you see.
Okay.
I'm excited about them.
Okay.
I'm excited because I'm a big bag person because, I throw everything in my bag. And we got a couple of big hobos, big tote bags coming out.
Yeah.
Then, little clutches. So I'm happy about the line that's coming out. To get to what you were saying about the website, here's the interesting part.
Okay.
I have too many designs.
Okay.
And once again, this is all trial and error that you learn along the way. That I have a lot of pretty shoes, but I don't have a staple piece.
Okay.
And I don't have any flow. So like I said, you spend your first 2 years trying to figure out who your target audience is.
Okay.
And so now that we realize who our target audience is, the line that's coming up, which I'm actually in the process of designing shoes for Sergio Hudson for New York Fashion Week.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. But you say you don't have like the statement piece, but you know what? For people like me, you have so many different designs and so many designs I have never seen before.
But you're a publicist, so you get it. Okay. The average person is not going to think like we think. Okay.
Right.
When they see that black boot, the Revenge, a lot of people get overwhelmed. It takes a certain type of person to wear that boot.
Yeah.
They get overwhelmed when they see that. So, but because we're in the industry, it's like, oh, and that is a statement piece. Okay, that's how we look at it.
Right.
But the average person, and this is what I had to learn. I had to learn how to get out of my publicist's head. I had to learn how to get out of that head because, we're all for, okay, we're going to make this the standout piece. We're going to make this a brand. We're going to do this because that's what we do.
Right.
But when you are doing a brand, a fashion brand or an eyeglass brand, you can't have all these different things. You got to find a piece that everybody's going to be able to wear. And that piece becomes your staple piece. So if you look at Louboutin, we all know that Kates and Pagals, doesn't matter how long they've been around, you're going to wear them, even if they hurt your feelings, but you're going to wear them. And it doesn't matter how many other creations he comes out with. Right. People always go back to that Pagal or that Kate. That's just reality.
That's true.
And so a lot of it, like I said, I had to step outside my PR hat and look at what reality was because I'm on this side of it. And, I'm not, how you tell your clients you need to do this, 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 and this. Right. But now I really look at the why.
Okay.
And oh my God. And then I hired 2 PR firms. Oh my God.
So how is it working with your husband? Because he has the men's collection. So does he come up with all the designs or how does that work?
He does. And then sometimes I put my input in, but he does. One thing about me and him is, and we have the same taste. Okay. Like even down to furniture, house, or whatever, we really have the same taste. So it's not like there's a whole lot of arguments. Like he didn't understand the shoe game. Like I understand the shoe game because he runs another business. And so I'm more into the shoe game than he is. So, he had to learn, the difference on a sole, a men's shoe, what a welt is, what a leather sole is. Do you have inserts? And once again, is the shoe going to be wide enough? And the heel height and all of this stuff plays a part in men's shoes. The difference between the men's shoe and the women's shoes is that the men have only like 6 styles. The fabric has changed. Okay. They have a Chelsea, they have a Jodhpur, they have God, I'm drawing a blank. Anyways, there's 6 of them. Unlike us, they have like 15 different styles.
Right.
They stuff is the structure is going to be the same. The fabric changes. And so
Okay.
for him, he has to come up with the colors, what kind of fabric they're going to use. And then sometimes it might be something simple, or maybe we'll square off this toe a little. But that's him. You know, I'm not a man.
Right.
So I might put my little 2 cents in because I can't do without it. But other than that, that's all him.
I love it. And I was going through some of the designs. It was a let me see. When I went to the men's collection, I think I saw something that said Manhattan or something like that. Or
the Manhattan. It's a patent leather. I guess going out shoe. Every man.
Okay, that's a bad shoe. That I was like, okay. If I saw somebody with that shoe, I was like, okay.
Every man needs to have that one, that one classic, and what I think about the men's line is that it's a lot of classic pieces that carry from season to season. Like the loafer, I know that he's coming out with different colors for the blue loafer that's on there, like a sage green and a tan. And those are like really classic pieces. Like we even have Matthew McConaughey, and I don't know what issue is coming out. He wore the blue ones for a GQ magazine spread. So, and then him and another actor, Anthony Bless, they were like, this is like the shoe. And I'm looking at it like, this is just a blue loafer. But I'm not.
No, Angie, it's not just, that's a bad shoe, girl.
It's just a loafer. It's just a loafer. You're like, yeah, okay.
But you know what I also like now? It's a luxury brand, high end, but I love that you also have options for those who may be like on a budget. So you have options for those to make payments on those brands. So I love that. Was that important to you all when
it
you
was? It was.
Okay.
I had to think back from back in the days, like when I bought my very first Louis Vuitton bag. I'll never forget this. This was like in 1987, and this is when I was I had just finished a tour with Hammer, so I had some money. Okay, so I go into it was called I had Magnum then or something like that, and the bag at that time was still $400. Okay. And I'm like, $400, this is a lot of money I got to give up at one time. But I wanted that bag and I gave it at one time. So I always like to remember that sometimes you want stuff. And if I have an option to do payments on it, then I'd rather do that versus me giving you, $400, $500 at one time.
Right. Love it. Love it. So is there anything that's coming up that you guys want to tell everybody about? Okay.
So we have these backpacks that have been in a year for making. Okay. I think you've probably seen them. These backpacks are for men and women, but what we wanted to do is make it where you could take it to work, you could travel, fit your laptop, fit your clothes, whatever, like one thing. And they'll be here next month, finally. So pre-order goes on tomorrow for them. But right now we just got them in blue and then the black. And the black is limited. It's just a limited amount. And then once they're gone, they're gone. And then it also has a travel bag. And we were considered on the travel bag too as well. The tote bag, we didn't want it to be, like sometimes you buy the travel bags and they're small. So these are big. So you can just carry, it's still a size to carry on the plane. You can fit everything in the kitchen sink in there. They're all croc print. They're all 100% leather. They're made in Italy. So, yeah, I'm excited to see them after a year because there was a lot of revision. There's a lot of revisions. And I mean, that's all part of the game. Like, you sometimes have to test out the leather because it's hard when you're not over there to actually see. So you're looking at a picture. So when the design gets here, you're like, oh God, what is it?
Yeah. God, you got a lot going on. So do me a favor before we get into the second half of my interview. It's going to be a little bit fun. So, but before we do that, tell everybody where they can go to check out the collection.
Rogers Pearson, that's ROGERSPEARSON.co, not .com, but .co. You can also catch us on social media at Rogers Pearson Official, and we're on TikTok as Rogers Pearson Official.
Awesome. Okay, so this is the part of the interview where I like to get a little personal, but it's fun. I ain't gonna get too much in your business. I promise.
Okay.
If you don't mind to play along, part of my show is about highlighting the other talents and businesses and passions and goals that my guests have. And also it's about talking about the many things that people don't know about you. So I have 3 questions. And if you don't mind just answering the 3 questions, the first one is kind of serious. The next 2 after that are just kind of little fun things. Okay.
Okay.
So the first question is called Just the Facts, and it's just let everyone know more, everybody know more about you, what you do. Although I kind of summed it up, but if you feel free to sum it up more, just say, hi, my name is Angie, and just tell me a little bit more about you.
All right. Hi, my name is Angie, used to be Collins, but now Pearson. I am actually a 38-year publicist veteran. I don't really practice PR anymore, just because I didn't want to babysit grown people anymore. But I still run women in PR. I still stay updated. I still try to keep the women there with their resources, the connections, the networking, and that's something that I'm passionate about. And I'm sure I'm really passionate about it. I love my 2 dogs.
Aww.
I had 3. I had to put 1 to sleep in May, but most people know Jojo because he shows up at classes and everything else. So my dogs. We recently moved to Houston, Texas. We left LA.
Wow. Okay. Well, actually, that was going to be my second question. My second question is, tell us what we don't know about you. Tell us something that we don't know. Maybe it's something that you love to eat, what you have a passion for, something like that.
I'm the most transparent person that there is.
I have something that you mentioned it briefly, but if she doesn't mention it, I'm going to mention it.
Okay, well, you mentioned it.
Oh,
I was. A lot of people know that too, but I was an MC Hammer dancer, and I'm not talking. Yeah, I'm originally from the Bay Area. I'm from San Francisco, and when I was younger, I used to cross the bridge because there used to be this club called Silks, and that's where I met Hammer at. And so we used to dance in the club every weekend. And then one time, somebody from Universal Records came through, and that's kind of how he got his deal. So I was like one of the first 6 dancers. I watched us go from 6 to 300 in this group. But I'm in the Can't Touch This video and Pumps and a Bump video. And I'm also on the one where they do the Arsenio Hall show. Also when we did the Grammys. So 1993, I had to stop. My knees was getting bad. And the last tour I did was Boyz II Men and TLC, and that's when TLC at first came out.
Oh wow!
But here's something that a lot of people, something a lot of people don't know is that Tupac danced with Digital Underground when I danced with Hammer.
Really?
And so yes, and so me and him became really good friends. So when he signed to Death Row, he didn't trust anybody over there. So he was like, "Angie, you're not doing nothing. So why don't you come over and do my PR?" So the All Eyes on Me campaign is my campaign.
I did not know that. Okay.
Okay. So there you go.
Hey. There we go. Okay. So the last question is, because I'm an old school music lover, you have to let me know, name your favorite old school artist or song and why you love it.
That's easy.
Okay.
Jeffrey Osborne, Love Ballad. LTD, Love Ballad. Yes. And, I mean, so much that was our first dance. That was a song we had for our first dance. Yes.
Okay.
Anything by Jeffrey Osborne. And then second is Michael Jackson.
Okay. Girl, you didn't guide me on that one because I love me some Jeffrey Osborne.
Love Jeffrey Osborne, yes.
Oh, that and Love Ballad. We both deserve each other's love.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
girl. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. We want to thank Angie Pearson for playing along and coming on today's show. It was an absolute pleasure. Anybody or anything you want to shout out while we're here or before we go?
I want to say hey to all my girls at Women in PR. Y'all keep going. Don't give up. Okay. Because the landscape is changing, but I'm here for it.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. People always ask me why I love old school so much. My answer is old school will forever hold amazing memories, just like the Demia Avery show. And we are out of here. Thank you, Angie. All right. All right, y'all. So we're going to do some honorable mentions here. First, we have actor Karan Joseph Riley. He has a new book out entitled Keep Pedaling, The Things I Learned on My Bike and the Wisdom to Keep You Pedaling in Life. I heard it's really good and I absolutely love the title, so go to the website to check it out. And then we have fashion designer Kara Shook Fears of Confident Diva. I absolutely adore her. She has so many amazing products and it's of great quality too, so make sure to check her out as well. I love my entrepreneurs. All right, y'all, welcome back. Like I said, I'm an old school lover, so this next segment is called Battle of the Old School Music. Now, I'm going to name a couple of challenges and make sure you cast your vote in the comments. Make sure you put it in the comments. Last week, challenge winners was between Peebo Bryson and Teddy Pendergrass, and Peebo won by a hair. And in the second challenge, it was between John B. and Joe. And Joe came out ahead just by a little bit as the winner. So check out today's challengers and make sure you put it in the comments. Here we go. Thank you once again for joining me on today's episode. I hope you had some fun. I sure did. Make sure you come back next week as our featured guest will be entrepreneur, business coach, magazine publisher of FAR Magazine, Latoya Scott. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. We're creating memories here at the Demia Avery Show. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.